you guys started 0-10 rookie year,
Yep.
you always kept coming out here and you always sounded positive. And it wasn't just,
Yep.
it didn't seem like you were blowing smoke.
Right.
What did you learn about yourself during that 0-10 start? And is there anything that you can glean from that that you can use right now during what's going on here now?
Yes, absolutely. The number one thing that I learned is if you're going to go through something like that, you might as well do it in the right attitude. Everyone, not only in football but in life, you deal with a lot of different stuff, right? And it's all about, you always say, it's all about your attitude and how you handle things. And so I don't really want to waste my family's time, coach's time, my teammates' time by walking around here and being sad and things like that. There's no point. We got a job to do. We got things to fix. We have things to continue to work on. And trust me, when I leave the NFL someday, I'm going to know that I enjoyed my time, and I don't want to sit there and waste it on being sad.
Is there anything, though, that you have to tell maybe some of the younger guys who haven't gone through?
Oh, yeah.
You had to make sure that everybody's still okay.
Oh, yeah, it's mostly young guys because they just don't know. They don't know. They've never been in a situation like this, especially at this level, how intense it is, how much is always on the line just to get one win in the NFL. And so just talking to young guys, had a great talk, this morning with Arden Key, just about some of those kind of things. And obviously the context of that we can keep to ourselves. But, just shedding a little bit of light into the situation for some of those young guys that really, people did it for me. And so I feel like I should, do it for them.
After the game, you said that last interception that you do it again. You watch film, talk to the coaches. What's your thoughts on that play now?
Yeah, again, when I say that, it's one-on-one, give my guy a chance. I think that situationally, just being, which is hard to say, just more conservative and more patient, kill some more time, kind of a thing, would be smarter. Again, every time we got down there, they were playing too high, and then I see a single high look, and that's always been a fault of mine, is being too aggressive. I will live with that, as long as my coaches continue to correct me and tell me, hey, now this is what we were thinking, kind of a deal, and we grew from it. We had a great talk about the situation and those kind of things, and our communication together. But obviously, you never want that to happen. I trust me, when I did it, didn't plan on that happening. But those are the kind of things that we definitely talked about, learned from, and just the insight from all our coaches talking about it. It helped us grow and get better from that.
Derek, you kind of mentioned it a little bit ago, but as a leader on the team, how much responsibility do you take in keeping the troops' morale up? Because the 3 losses, obviously they weren't just simple losses. They were kind of back-breaking, demoralizing
Yes.
type of losses. How do you keep the troops' morale up?
Same as I am every day. I think that one thing about me is every single day I've tried to be the same guy for 5 years, and I try and be the same guy every day for my teammates, whether we go out there and win by 20 or whether we lose in the ways that we have. Again, that's more of a character kind of thing, and kind of something you want to instill. Maybe one young guy's watching, maybe one veteran guy's watching. They say, man, he's literally the same all the time. And that's really my goal is, going through a football season. You plan on winning them all. It's really hard to do, obviously, as we've seen in history. So when you're going through it, man, I just try and be the same person every day for my teammates, bringing up the same conversations, saying, hey, these guys bring up these issues. Let's talk about these. Or, hey, these are the fronts they play. These are the coverages. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this check. No matter what just happened days prior, I try and do that every single day, just so that kind of culture will be instilled in this team, for years to come. Again, like I've said this a whole bunch of times. Seawood said it to me, the Raiders are going to keep going when I leave. He used to tell me that all the time. The Raiders will keep going when you leave, so leave your mark, on the guys in the locker room, on those young guys. Even if someone goes somewhere else, leave a mark on their life, kind of a thing. And so that's what I've always tried to do.
I know Greg Williams' defense is fairly exotic.
Yep.
What do you see just in their linemen's ability to get home on a simple 4-man rush when they go with only 4?
Yeah, he's so exotic in some of his looks, and then sometimes he can just peel back on that kind of stuff and let his front four, because they're so talented, just go. And I think that's where they can create a lot of problems, is in different looks and those kind of things. And he's been doing it for so long. He's great coach.
How effective is pressure that pre-snap you think is coming, you change to prepare for it, and then it doesn't happen with guys dropping back into coverage?
Oh yeah, I mean, it works both ways. It can work vice versa too. You know, you're always prepared for both. You know, we'll say that. You know, it's our job to always be prepared. You know, for a lot of pressure and not a lot of pressure. You know, we're always making sure we're prepared for both.
Gruden, after week 1, wanted you to be a bit more aggressive. Saying there's some shots down the field. Now it's toned down the aggression. How do you find that right calibration?
Yeah, it's funny, man. You know, we're figuring that out together. And I'm going to continue to play my tail off. Every time I walk off that field, I know I gave it everything that I had, you know. And, you know, as long as I keep doing that and just listening to my coaches, we'll be fine.
How much adaptation do you see from the coaches towards you? And obviously you're adapting for what the coaches want. It's a new system and all that. You have to work through some kinks. But how much change has happened in 3 weeks?
Oh, I mean, we're still who we are. You know, we're not changing who we are. I mean, I remember the first game, there was one shot to Coop that I know he's talking about, the one play. You know, but we picked up a first down. I think we talked about that one like 13 times now. You know, and then, you know, this week, you know, on the last play, you know, it's one of those where, hey, situationally, let's understand that we can, you know, kill the clock some more. And that's on me. I mean, all of it falls on me. It's never my teammates, never his fault because I have the ball in my hands.
It's small things that seem like big things. Is that?
Oh yeah, very fixable. You know, that's the good part. You know, but you sit on the backside of it, and you know, it's a sucky feeling when you lose.
Derek, as a quarterback, is the roughing the passer penalty clear in your mind, or is it just random?
Man, I said this, honestly, I said this to my wife and a couple of teammates the other day. I wish the guy would have just landed on me besides tear his ACL, honestly. Like, you know, I've been playing a while and I've been hit my fair share, you know, and guys land on you and things like that, and it is what it is. Like, on that play, for him to try and protect me, which I'm thankful for, right? Thank you. But for him to tear his ACL, nobody wants that. Like, I don't want that. You know, it's like, you know, when people were getting hit in the head, well, then safety started hitting people in the knees and ankles. I'll take you hit me in the head any day over that, you know, those kind of things. So it's that fine line of our league trying to find the right balance. You know, it's an imperfect game. We're trying to figure it out, too. It's, you know, 22 guys, full speed chaos for 4 seconds, and you're trying to make rules for it, right? And it's tough. So I definitely didn't want the guy to tear his ACL. And thankfully, he protected me and kept me safe. But I much would have, if he was doing it again, man, land on me, you know, so you don't hurt yourself.
Did you get a sense that he was hurt right away, or did you?
I could hear it. Yeah, I can hear him.
Really?
You know, I heard him, and I was like, you know, I kind of just rolled over and looked at him to make sure he was all right, and obviously he wasn't. But you know, that's a situation where you feel bad, man. You just like, you don't want the guy's season to be over. You know, man, go ahead and land on me. I'll catch my breath eventually, and we'll move on.
Played the Senior Bowl with Garoppolo. Have you reached out to him in any way?
No, I haven't reached out to him honestly because we've been so busy. But I will. I definitely will because, again, you know, let's keep it in perspective. We're all humans, man. The guy just wants to play a game. You know, we're playing a game for a living. He wants to be out there with his teammates. He's worked so hard. You know, got traded last year. Had a great start, right? And you know, I feel bad for the guy. You never want to see anybody hurt like that. So, Jimmy, we're praying for you, man. Me and my family. So that's terrible.
Derek, how much have you seen of Baker Mayfield, and just wondering what your thoughts are on
Yeah, he reminds me. I mean, I think actually I heard Coach say it, so I'm not copying him. But he reminds me a lot of Jeff Garcia. You know, just very athletic, very competitive. You know, can make all the throws, kind of a thing. And you know, he's a good player. He's a really good player. And I think the sky's the limit for him. You know, as long as he, just keeps his head down, keeps working, I think that he can do a lot of great things for their organization.
Someone who kind of did a similar thing coming in and energizing it with a lot of tempo, high intensity play. What does a guy like Mayfield do for a team like the Browns? He's not a prototypical guy, a lot of energy every time he's on the field. Do you guys feel that at the quarterback position? Like, not just leading to wins, but we're also bringing some people with us.
I mean, honestly, like, I'm fiery,
Yeah.
I know he is too. And I bet he would say the same thing maybe. But for me, it's like we're just being ourselves,
Right.
And I think that's why, we're just, when we were younger, they told us, hey, you should play quarterback,
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I had people around me that told me to, because now, they'll see you work, they see you, play hard, and I'm sure some coaches along the way said, this guy will inspire somebody.
Do you feel like that's an advantage for teams like the Raiders when you were here, and then for the Browns who have been like they getting a fiery guy at quarterback that's going to maybe break some stuff up and kind of change fortunes?
Yeah, I think so. Like, you just don't put up with below average things.
Right.
I'll say it that way. You know, you just don't put up with it, and you know, and mostly the way that you can show it is by your work ethic and being intense at practice. I mean, the same way I pump my fist after a touchdown in the game, same way I do it at practice. You know, I don't change, man. I'm gonna give this organization, I'm gonna give this city everything that I have every single day, not just on game day. I'm gonna give them everything I have, and we'll, you know, look at it 20 years from now and see what happened. But you know, I think that Baker's the same way. He's given that city and that organization everything that he has every time he steps on the field, and it's good. I think it's a good thing for a team and for a city.
Derek, three games, you've had 3 different receivers kind of go bonkers. How much of that is game plan and something that you saw, and how much of it is just, hey, this is how it the flow of the game sort of thing?
Both, you know, a little bit of both. Obviously, there's some plays that you know that, well, this is built for somebody, you know. But also, you could have a play that's built for somebody, they take it away. Well, you know, the next matchup, Coach Gruden and the staff did a great job of putting that person in that spot to win that matchup. So it works both hands, but it really just comes down to coaches putting together a plan and just relaying that plan. Hey, fellas, this is what we're going to do, kind of a thing. And then, you know, depending on the defense, who they take away, that kind of stuff.
When you're pulling in and out of Raiders headquarters, even on a day like Monday after a loss, you sometimes see fans who are standing out there asking for your autograph or saying encouraging words if you slow down and roll your window down.
Yep.
What's that been like over your time here, and just to see that?
Man, it is consistent. Every time we leave, and sometimes as players, just being a human, you're like, oh man, you know, I don't want to stop today, you know. But you stop and you just tell them thank you, because this thing is going to go. You know, someday, these years go by fast, right? I'm already, this is my 5th year. Someday there's going to be someone else in here, some other quarterback, and hopefully they do the same thing, because, if I was standing out there, I'd want to see them too. And so I've always been thankful to our fans for being so supportive whenever I go to take my wife out to dinner or things like that. I've never had a time where a Raider fan, you know, they may be sad sometimes, they may be let down, but they are always loyal, and they always care about you. Like they say, once a Raider, always a Raider. And that is true with our fans. So driving out, seeing our fans, they've been so loyal and supportive. That's what makes it fun to play here, honestly, is we know it's not a good time right now, but we know that good times are coming, always. You know, I always expect good times, and I know that they do too, and so hopefully we'll get it right and get back on track so we can start winning.
A couple more, guys.
When you look at the film and just some of it is a concept that as coaches that they're implementing, and some of it is execution that you guys are doing players. I know the consistency hasn't been there for all 4 quarters, but a lot to be encouraged by. Has that just been a consistent thread throughout these losses? I
mean, there really is. You know, that's the sucky part about the way that we've lost and losing. You know, you look at all the bad stuff. You know, if we go down there and we win that game, we kind of look over. You know, you guys may look over some stuff that I've done before. You know, but the way that we're moving the ball, running it, throwing it, protecting, adjusting on the fly, the way that we're doing certain things. I mean, it's awesome. It really is, and I think that's why you see our team here on a Monday after a loss lifting. You know, it's not what we wanted, but everyone in there is energized. You know, I've been 0-10 before, and I know that feeling. I've seen the look on people's faces. It's not the same look that our team has. Maybe it has to do with our coaches, or maybe it has to do with veteran players. I don't know, but you know, we understand that we're doing some really good things on both sides. Now, we all need to correct here and there a little bit, but it's not drastic stuff. We're like, man, we have no chance. You know, we're going out there against some good football teams and doing some good stuff.